Well, what?
Well, we're just here to ask you what you know about, like, if you've heard any stories or what you know personally about Kenny Gabriel. So, Crystal, what do you know about Kenny Gabriel? Do you know anything about Kenny G, and if you do, what are some of the stories and or rumors you have heard about him?
Can you tell us what you know about Kenny G?
We're here to ask you what you know about Kenny G.
Small circles form on Abraham Lake.
What do you know about Kenny Gabriel?
He rides his bike around town. He's like a friendly guy, and yeah, he's always just around town.
I've heard that he has a lot of money.
He likes hockey. I seen him playing on the beer league team there.
He's like my little brother's idol. Not joking.
There's a mystery man who's always smiling. I know him for his bike riding.
My name is Ken Gabriel, Kenny G.
My dad knew Kenny's grandpa, Kenny's dad. Kenny G comes from a very wealthy family. His parents left him a lot of money.
Know about, like, if you've heard any stories or what you know personally about Kenny Gabriel.
I don't know much. I see him on his bike a lot.
Oh.
He's very friendly at the convenience store too.
What do you know about Kenny Gabriel?
He's very community orientated. He loves to get involved in stuff in the community. You always see him. He always says hi. He always remembers your name.
Some people might think that Kenny is a threat, but he's really just loves his community, and he would be there to help anyone. And if you've never been to the Relay for Life, you should go in here and sing. You can sing Born to be Wild, Crazy.
So, how did you first meet Kenny Gabriel?
How I first met Kenny Gabriel, it was a number of years when I moved into this town about 1979, and I met him first time wandering down the streets in Main Street of Stettler, right? And Kenny's a very friendly sort of chap. I believe it was at the post office, and talking to Kenny, and you know, Kenny is quite a character. He tells you his whole life history and everything. So I got to know him a little bit, and got to know how his feelings were, you know. And I ran red-green hockey.
Just scored a couple goals on him.
Oh, is he a goalie?
No, he actually, no, I tripped over him once coming around the corners there, and then he got mad at me.
So, Mr. Bish, what do you know about Kenny Gabriel?
Well, it was a number of years ago that I taught social studies to Kenny, and he was always one of the most pleasant and upbeat students, always a smile on his face, and I remember Ken working so hard, the sweat would be pouring off the brow of his face. He always gave it his all, and everyone seemed to appreciate that. The other thing,
Always been the same. Ever since I.
You remember him in high school,
I
in the school when you were here?
In high school, yes.
And he was the same happy-go-lucky guy?
Yeah.
Did you know that he had the nickname of Cactus when he was in high school?
I did not know.
I learned that one.
In high school, and just wander around, show you what everything looks like now, and you can say what it used to look like when you were in the school.
Yeah, 1975.
Yeah. You graduated in 75?
Yeah, I went to school in 75.
Till 75?
Yeah, I was
Cool.
in grade 10.
Yeah?
Yeah, for that time, yeah.
Basketball, Kenny?
Yeah, volleyball.
What about volleyball?
Yeah, volleyball, yes.
Yeah?
See it? I play volleyball too. Is the gym? It's what?
So have you really been in the school at all since like you? Okay, so this
My
is
first time.
first time since 75?
75. Never been in here when it was renovated. No.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, that's the library through there.
It used to be the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is where we do all our post-production stuff.
Oh, okay.
In here.
Hi there.
This is one of... He's not even a contact kid, but he's doing video work.
Hi.
Came from a family around the Stettler area that was well known.
There's another sort of Kenny G myth. We've heard that he is wealthy, but he's on some sort of allowance that's doled out to him. Have you heard anything of that sort?
I'm aware of that. Yes.
Is there any truth to that?
There's truth to that.
So what is the story? Did he inherit money?
Yes, he did. Yes, but I'm fearful that people have misused
Taken
his
advantage of him?
generosity, and so I think then it had to go to maybe the courts and whatnot to protect him. Yeah, so I think good people stepped in and are looking out for him.
Do you know any Kenny G myths that we haven't heard?
I know of a couple that I would never repeat because I know they're not true.
Kenny G is first and foremost a musician, whether he's learning new instruments, singing,
1, 2, 3, 4. Shake it, baby, shake it on the love tonight. Shake it, baby, shake it on the love tonight.
We interviewed Kenny G, and we also went on a bike ride with him, the hobby he is most well known for throughout Stettler.
I was born here in Stettler. I showed the lady here that did the interview that's while I was born, and there was a school right across from the school here where the condominium place was. Where I was born, that was the hospital. And there was,
I heard that used to be the hospital over here.
Yes. Okay.
You have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. And what are their names?
Virginia, Billy, and Dean.
Virginia, Billy, and Dean?
Porter. Their last name is Porter.
You've been around the Stettler area for a very long time then.
Yes, I grew up here, and I actually did a lot of, my grandmother had the same thing you're teaching yourselves, music and all that. My grandfather had the garage, and she had Dakota Wright playing in my grandmother's garage, and also the Carster band also too, playing for school dances here in Stettler.
And then you grew up, and where did you live when you were growing up?
In Red Deer.
You lived in Red Deer?
Yeah, for 19 years.
So from, okay, so 19 years in Red Deer, and then?
I came up to Stettler and I ran the camera for Shaw Cable for 7 years.
Okay.
And I did a footage of Dave Yancey, the Yancey brothers, the gospel singer.
Okay, so you were like...
And he did the Martin Luther King way back in the 60s, and I brought him into Canada.
So you were 26?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you have quite a big family throughout the Stettler area.
My roots go back in the 13th century. Actually, there was if you go to the library, it'll tell you a little story about how they came and how they shipped cattle to the states of Washington and all that. And it's a little history behind my roots. And then sometime in the future, they're doing a family reunion about my family eventually on cousins that I never met before.
Oh, okay. So your family is originally from like the Switzerland, Germany area?
Austria.
Austria, okay.
Yeah, and that's where Austria was spread out to the Wolfgang, or whatever that, you've probably heard about the time of the Nazis or whatever it was, way back in the early days.
Okay.
And that's how they spread it off, and all of the different languages.
I wanted to give something back to this community, back to Stettler, because I've had a chance to play some pretty good hockey in my time. And I started this called Red Green. It's fun hockey. It's adult, from 18 and up. So I asked Kenny, you know, would you like to play hockey? Yeah, but I'm not good enough. I don't, and nobody's ever asked Kenny to come out and play that sport, eh? So I said, well, Kenny, I would like you to come out. And he had no skates and everything. We gathered some skates, some equipment. I said, you got to have all the equipment. And so he came out and dressed up, and he was like a duck on a pond. I gave him a chance. He got pretty good. He got kind of really good in playing, in skating, you know. And I said, no slap shots, Kenny. And he would wind up and miss the puck, eh?
Freddie Bozak got me going, and actually my second year that I was with Red and Green Hockey, he got me, said you're going to go to the West Edmonton Mall. I'd never been there before, and it was a freaking show. Taking me to West Edmonton Mall.
I usually take my Red Green to the end of the season in March to West Edmonton Mall. He'd never been out. As far as I knew, he was never ever left Stettler, maybe as far as Red Deer, but never to Edmonton. And to West Edmonton, you mean we're going to West Edmonton Mall? I said, yes, we're going to play right in the bright lights.
You guys played on the ice surface in the mall?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So before I went, I took him along, before, like Kenny, I says, Kenny, we got to dress you up. We're going to the city. You know, there could be scouts, you know, and I and I says, we got to get you some decent clothes. So I went to the people that control his money and asked, and I said, we're going to go to Walmart. So I got $200 from the people that control his money. And we went to Walmart's, and I picked him up a beautiful set of clothes, dressed him up. He was just like $1 million man. A lot of guys didn't recognize him, actually, on the Red Green team. They couldn't recognize that, you know, how well he was dressed, eh? So away we went to Edmonton, and early, like, I showed him how around West Edmonton Mall and everything. And I'll never forget when we went up to the top, an escalator, you know, to the top floor, and you overlooked the arena.
Yeah.
And oh, no! He started shaking. He said, no, I can't. I says, Kenny, get used to it. We're going to be playing now. You're going to be playing down there. And there's going to be people watching you. And he was so shocked. He couldn't, he got frightened, you know, from the height thing. So I didn't force him anymore, but he did play, and he really, really enjoyed himself.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And then we found out something that was truly awful to take in, coming from such a nice man.
In '96, I did my last project at Shaw Cable. In 2001, that I can recall, I got beat up in Red Deer behind the Arlington Hotel and the Buffalo Hotel. That's why I came to Stettler.
Wow.
Okay, also too.
Wow.
And I got my teeth knocked out because of that, too.
It was a bar fight?
No, they ganged up on me.
If you know any details, he told us a little bit about a time when he was living in Red Deer and he got beat up in a bar.
He told me.
Ended up in a coma. Do you know any of the details?
No, I don't, but he did tell me.
Was that before the hockey?
Yes, that was before, yes. Because I had met him here when I first moved to town, and then he was gone. I didn't know where he was gone, eh?
Okay.
And then that's when he came back, I said, where? When he was in Red Deer, and he got beat up pretty bad, eh?
Yeah, no, I never knew anything about it till like just
knocked his
a little while
teeth
ago.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very sad.
It's just sounds like
So, in the end, what did we learn about Kenny Gabriel? We learned he's a man who loves his community and wouldn't hurt a fly. We learned he loves writing and singing music. We learned he loves exercising through riding his bike around Stettler. And we learned he's one of the most caring and thoughtful people in the Stettler community. But most importantly, we learned that Kenny isn't some strange mystery man. We learned he's a super nice guy who's happy with small town Stettler. And it's hard to imagine our small town without Kenny.